Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've got a load of news for you today. Lots of stuff you can actually get involved with. Some dev responses about White. There are sales going on. There's a new patch. There's events. All that sort of jazz. Alpha 3.22a is now out to live. The updated Siege of Orison is running on the live servers as well. From the RSI newsletter, we've got join the Civilian Defense Force today. Head over to the once idyllic Orison and fight back against the Ninetales Gang campaign of violence. Play your part before the Siege of Orison ends on the 5th of February at 8 PM UTC. There are two sets of ship sales currently on. All of the ships from 2023 are on sale until the 29th of January, and the Siege of Orison sale and sort of relevant-ish ships and vehicles to that are on sale until the 5th of February. The sneak peek this week is of cargo hover trolleys. So these are going to be useful around the game for managing your cargo, including at your persistent hangar when they add them, the freight elevators, new points of interest like depots and underground networks, things like that. Basically, carrying big old cargo crates around, driving them around. Obviously, NPC is going to be using these a lot. They're a big part of the making the world feel living and breathing. Golden tickets are more plentiful, it seems, as well. If you are looking for a golden ticket and the ability to potentially get yourself a F8C, or at least try one out as a rental, then you can find these golden tickets around the game at the moment. And they're much more plentiful than they used to be. And they're going to be dropping in loot containers and on bodies around Stanton. Yeah, so basically, you get one of these, you drop it at a rental kiosk, you get to rent a F8C for 24 hours, and then you can also technically then purchase one, which is $300, whenever they are selling them. So they're selling them at the moment until the 29th of January, so it's up to you. I like the golden ticket event stuff. At the very least, you can play around with one of these F8C Lightnings, and they are very cool heavy fighters. With those, and with all the other ship sales that Star Citizen and Cloud Imperium do and everything, you will be able to get all these ships in-game if you can't already. You do not need to spend real money to get them, other than buying yourself a starter pack or a game package or whatever, so you can actually get the game, I suppose. The dedicated tractor beam tool. So, a big handheld tractor beam is available at the Dumpers Depot stores in games now as well. Oddly, this was new, but wasn't in the 3.22a patch notes. It was in the EPT patch notes a while ago, and someone mentioned it the other day, was it in there? And I was like, I think it is. Why? For some reason, they didn't include that in the patch notes. There's actually quite a few little secrets, obscured things, hidden stuff that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes that are actually in 3.22a. We'll go through them in a separate video because I will want to dig down. I have not discovered them all. I'll just go through all of the previous patch notes as well and see what else was sort of omitted from the 3.22a live patch notes, but is in the EPT ones. Replication layer testing is ongoing at the moment as well. So Cloud Imperium posted replication layer test round 3. As always, with the tech preview channels we run, these builds can get into a pretty bad state, including high amounts of crashing, PTU account issues requiring extensive recopies, and general loading issues. The build is not going to be different from live in terms of features, but use this build at the risk of your own sanity. So bear that in mind. It is available to everyone to try on the tech preview branch of the game, which is the little drop-down menu from the launcher. So with these tests, the test will have every shard with the replication layer split from the server. Server crash recovery is currently enabled for this test, so if an instance does crash, it will display a message saying the instance is being recovered while the instance is paused. We are gathering network data from these crashes to see how character databases behave. This crash recovery has a lot of extra logging and could take upwards of 5 to 10 minutes, so please wait out the recovery to a new instance if you are able to. Taking part in this tech preview test is absolutely helping deliver this tech and the next steps of server crash recovery and server meshing sooner than would otherwise be possible. Also, you can put in r_display_info 2 or 3. That will give you more information about if the sort of replication layer is enabled or not enabled, sort of replication layer enabled, true or false, and the unique shard name. That just sort of helps with logging and getting test information for CIG. Changes, fixes, and updates with this sort of test as well. They fixed issues that were causing infinite loading when rejoining a server after a crash. There have been changes to the spawn and respawn flow. They fixed multiple replication layer specific server crashes and added logging to help track down interaction delays. And that is a big focus of this. They are trying to track down some interaction delays, with Wintermute from CIG posting after this. Hi folks, Ivan here on behalf of the network team. We're on the hunt for a specific interaction delay that's been observed on some of our previous tests with the replication layer split enabled. In this test, there's some additional tracking that's been added to help analyze it should it occur, but we could use your help too. If you come across significant interaction delay, say over 5 to 10 seconds, it would be helpful to let us know as much about it in the feedback thread as you can. What was the time, including time zone? What were you interacting with? And what were you doing before that point? Video clips with the display session information on as well would be super helpful too. Your help is always greatly appreciated. So if people are going to be asking as well, is Pyro enabled in this sort of tech preview? No, it's just replication layer stuff being tested in the standard system. It's likely they will have some Pyro previews again over the next few weeks, hopefully going out to a wider audience when compared to last time, and it's likely that they're going to be running replication layer tests on that as well, and server meshing tests probably relatively soon after. Talking about Alpha 3.22a again, there was a thread or several about patch persistence and people losing things with the latest 3.22a patch. Obviously, there was a mini wipe, which basically got rid of consumables. It got rid of anything that wasn't stowed properly, but things like refinery jobs would have gone. There was a question though, do storage containers and their contents persist between patches currently? A CIG dev replied, the containers themselves should persist if they are in your local inventory or in your ship. We'll look into issues if this doesn't work correctly, and issue council reports are greatly appreciated. There is, however, a lot of people basically saying containers don't persist between patches currently. At least that's what the sort of comments say. That could mean that some people are having it persist, some people are not, or in specific cases they're not. But yeah, from what I can tell, containers aren't persisting. Their contents, however, often get dumped in your home spawn location. So the boxes often don't persist, the storage containers, but the contents often, as long as they're not consumables, get chucked back in your home spawn area. Also, lots of people lost their ship loadouts. It's always a good idea to remove any of your gear from a ship that you want to keep, if it's sort of custom, if it's not the default equipment, because often loadouts will get reset during a mini wipe. CIG are taking more and more steps to make sure more and more things persist between patches, so that's a good thing. Obviously, this is going to be much less of an issue once we have Star Citizen in a better state, because they won't need to reset much at all until like beta and then live. At least that's my expectation. It's possible they'll want to do loads of economy tests and keep on resetting through a variety of patches, I suppose. Anyway, what we're getting at the moment with mini patches, so some of those stuff, some bits and bobs getting wiped occasionally, is still a million times better than a full wipe for most people. It is alpha though. I know that's a sort of big deflection, but it's true. These things are going to happen. It's just the sort of reality of the situation. Wipes will still happen. Mini wipes happen. Sometimes you're going to lose things. Sometimes the game is going to hate me and not allow me to play or explode. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen updates today. I am really interested to know, have you found your golden ticket if you were looking for one? Since the 3.22a patch has been dropped, have you found them more easily? Because I know a lot of people were having lots of problems finding them previously. Lots of people said they're able to find them now. Some people are still saying, oh, it's taken them ages, they haven't found them yet. But that could just be bad luck, I suppose. Sort of interested to know what your experiences are with that. Siege of Orison, how have you been playing in the latest patch? Has it been a great playthrough, a terrible playthrough? Were you able to complete it? Were you not? Have you purchased yourself anything during these double sort of mini ship sales that have been chucked at us? I suppose they're not so many, the ship sales, actually, especially with the two combined. There's quite a lot on offer. Also, in that tech preview, there's supposed to be a new Xenothreat-based mission as a sort of legal variant of the data heist mission stuff. Some new Xenothreat armor, things like that. Have you seen that? I actually haven't seen that stuff yet. Someone just messaged me and was chatting to me about it earlier. But whatever your thoughts or questions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. The giant ape climbed the skyscraper, swatting at helicopters that harassed him. You look up at the massive 50-foot creature of muscle and hair. He's got you firmly in his grasp. Any more pressure and you'd snap like a twig. He brings you to his mouth. And then you realise you should have got yourself nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It would have provided you security and anonymity, preventing the great ape from finding you, but also accessibility to some of your favourite shows. Check out the links below for a massive discount and to help support the channel. Do you like using your eye holes for extra immersion in Star Citizen and help aim and do some cool stuff? Well, you can with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is on sale at the moment. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more. Talking about supporting the channel, you can help by pressing that join button under my videos or even